Hi friends, in the last session we have discussed the two concepts called everything is an object and function aliasing. Okay, everything is an object and we discussed another concept is nothing but what function aliasing. So function aliasing is nothing but for the existing function we can give another name. Okay, for the existing function we can give another name which is nothing but what function aliasing. Okay, which is nothing but what function aliasing. Okay, so first function aliasing means observe carefully. In the last session I have explained clearly, just I'm re-explaining one more time. Existing function, okay, for the existing function we can give another name which is nothing but what function aliasing. Okay, which is nothing but what function aliasing. So here what I'm doing means first I'm declaring a function. Okay, first here I'm declaring a function and I'm giving nickname to another function. Okay, I'm giving nickname to another function and I'm calling that function and I'm checking the ID of that function. Okay, if you observe in the both cases I'm getting the same number. Okay, in this case ID of the two functions is getting the same number, right? So next concept is in the same way. Okay, next concept is in the same way. Observe here, once if I delete the f1 function, okay, once if I delete the f1 function, okay, once if I delete the f1 function is not available, but greetings function is not available and it's having capability to access the f1 function. Okay, it is having the capability to access the f1 function, right? Next. So just one note here. Okay, just one note here. I forgot to write in the last session. I forgot to write in the last session. In the above function, okay, in the above function, only one function is available. Only one function is available, but only one function is available. But we can call that function by using, but we can call the in the above example, in the above function means a first function. For the above in the above function, first example. Okay, first example, only one function is available, but we can access by using f1 function or okay, f1 function or greetings function. Okay, f1 functions are greetings function. But in the second example, okay, but in the second example, okay, but in the second example, observe carefully. But in the second example, when we are when we are deleting, okay, when we are deleting f1 function, okay, when we are deleting f1 function, f1 function is deleting f1 function. Once we delete, okay, once we deletes f1 function is no longer available. Okay, is no longer available. Okay, but in the second example, when we are deleting f1 function, once when deleting f1 function, but in the second example when we are deleting f1 function, once we deletes the f1 function it is no longer available. Okay, it's no longer available and but still we can, okay, but still we can access, okay, but still we can access by using, okay, but still we can access by using what greetings function, but still we can access that function by using what greetings function, still we can access by using what greetings function. Clear? So this is nothing but what we discussed as part of function aliasing in the last session. Today we are going to discuss about nested function. Okay, today we are going to discuss about nested function. Friends, please subscribe to my channel if you are watching my channel for the first time. Okay, it gives me more encouragement for more technical videos and a logical. Okay, so whether it's technical logical, Java, Python, Linux, any type of technical video, it gives me more encouragement. So I will create more videos on each and every technology. Okay, please subscribe to my channel and like and share and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so today concept is nested functions. Okay, today concept is nested functions. Today concept is nested functions. We can nested functions means normally from looping statement onwards we observe that nested. Okay, loops means nested loop. Okay, list nested list, tuple nested tuple. I mean, just we observe that nested. Okay, so nested means one we can declare a function inside another function is nothing but what a nested function. Okay, sometimes, okay, sometimes we can declare if, okay, sometimes we can declare a function inside another function, inside another function. Okay, sometimes we can declare inside another function. Such type of functions are called such type of functions. Okay, such type of functions are, sometimes we can declare a function inside another function. Such type of functions are called such type of functions are called nested functions. Such type of functions are called nested functions. So observe here, sometimes we can declare a function inside another function. Such type of functions are called nested functions. Okay, such type of functions are called what? Nested functions. So how we can call the nested functions and how we write nested functions? Observe the example. Okay, observe the example. I'm taking first outer function. Okay, I'm taking outer function. Print outer function started. Okay, outer function started. Outer function started. Def inner. Okay, observe here, def also with respect to here only. Def also, def inner function also it is parallel to outer function. Observe carefully, nested functions concept is very important concept. Okay, nested functions concept is a very important concept. I'm taking inner function. Print, okay, print inner function started. Okay, inner function started. Okay, inner function started. Okay, you can say inner function execution. Okay, inner function execution. And here what I'm writing one more time. Here what I'm writing, what outer function calling inner function. Outer function calling inner function. Okay, outer function calling inner function. Outer function calling inner function. Okay, outer function calling inner function. Observe here, outer function calling inner function. I'm calling that inner function. Okay, I'm calling that inner function. Next here outer. Okay, next here outer function. And here what I'm doing, one more thing, inner function also I will call. Okay, no, first observe the output here. So here let me explain with respect to first paint, next you will get clarity. So here outer and here inner, outer and inner, outer function and inner function. outer function and inner function. Okay, outer function and inner function. So observe here what happening means, so here first, whenever you want to access directly outer function, okay, if you can access outer function directly, okay, you can access outer function directly. But if you want to access directly to f1 function, it will give error. Okay, it will give what, error. So first you can access outer function, then you can come to inner function. It is right approach. But from inner function, from outer to directly inner function, it is not possible, and it will give error. Okay, it will give error. Okay, it will give error. So in the same way here I am writing. First here what I am doing, I am calling outer function. Outer function started. Next, don't think it will execute here. Don't think it will execute here. Next here outer function calling inner function. Okay, next, immediately what it will print, outer function calling inner function. Next here inner function calling this function. Okay, inner is calling this function, and here it is printing inner function execution. Okay, inner function it will execute. Now observe the output. If you observe the output here, okay, if you observe the output here, outer function started. Outer function calling inner function. Okay, outer function calling inner function and inner function execution. Okay, but observe the another one. But observe the another case. But observe the another case. But suppose if I am not calling this inner function. Okay, but suppose if I am not calling inner function. So in that case, no inner function. Okay, in that case, no inner function. Okay, then fine. Suppose here I want to call inner function. Suppose here I want to call inner function. It is going to give error. Okay, it is going to give error. Why error means, outer function able to access. Okay, outer function able to access. But here what I am saying, you are outside, and you want to touch this inner function. You want to touch this inner function means, first here outer function is there. Okay, if it is accepted outer function, then only from here you can go this inner function. This is the direct approach. This is the intermediate approach. But if you want to go directly to here, okay, but if you want to go directly to here, it is it is not going to accept, and it is going to give error. That's what I have explained. Now observe the output. Last case, in name error, inner is not defined. Did you mean iter? Okay, name error, inner is not defined. Did you mean iter? Clear? So this is the second example. Okay, this is what a second example. This is what a second example. This is what a second example. So in the same way, now you observe that function, inner function, and calling outer function and inner function. So in the same way, what I will do, okay, let me write the theory so that you will get some clarity. In the above example, okay, in the above example, okay, observe here in the above example. Based on that only I will write inner function, inner function, inner function is local to the outer function, is local to the outer function. In the above example, inner function is local to the outer function, and hence it is, hence it is not possible. Okay, hence it is not possible to call directly. directly from outside of outer function, from outside of outer function. In the above example, inner function is local to the outer function, and hence it is not possible to call directly from outside of outer function. Okay, directly it is not possible to call directly from outside of outer function. This is point number 1. Next, observe the second example. Okay, now observe the second example with respect to this one only. I'm not doing anything here, just I'm making some changes here. Here it is calling inner function. If you are calling inner function, okay, observe here, if you are calling inner function, if you are calling inner function, now it is calling. Why? How it is calling means I have removed the inner function comment here. So outer function calling this one and this one executing after this line, inner function is there. So it is calling this function. It is calling this function and here it is executing. Observe carefully in that way. So what I am doing means f1 is equal to outer function. Okay, f1 is equal to outer function I'm taking. This is nothing but what? Function aliasing. Make sure function aliasing it is. Make sure function aliasing. So outer function, okay, outer function you called and this one executed and this one executed and this one executed. When this inner function executed, observe carefully, when this inner function got executed, so here I'm returning this inner function. Okay, when this line executed by outer function, okay, observe carefully, when this line executed by outer function, now f1 function is going to get the capability to access this inner function. In the previous case, if I am removing, i have I have not mentioned here inner function, so that time it is not having the capability. But here I'm giving the return statement means okay, observe carefully, here when I'm giving this return statement inner function, now this outer function completion of inner function, it is going to get the capability to access this f1 inner function also by using this f1. Okay, by using this f1, observe here f1 is equal to outer function means I am not giving access nickname to this outer function. I am giving access to this inner function to access from outside function. Okay, observe my terminology carefully. Observe my terminology carefully. I am returning inner function means okay, I am returning inner function means outer function is returning inner function. Okay, outer function returning inner function. Okay, this inner function, okay, this inner function is get the capability to access. Okay, directly you can access from here. In the previous example it is not possible, but why it is not possible? Once you executed this outer function, okay, okay, so observe here, first here outer function you called, outer function returning if return object. Okay, outer function returning outer function inner function object, you are calling outer function, that outer function calling inner function. Okay, that outer function calling inner function. Whenever this function called inner function, so this one is going to get the capability to access this function. Okay, this one is going to get the capability to access this function because here you executed outer function capability to access this one. Okay, outer function capability to access this one, and that function itself is going to access this f1 function. That's what here it is happening. So now observe here, outer function is going to execute only two lines, but if I execute f1 function, it will execute inner function execution. You can call f1 function, I mean inner function, any number of times from outside of outer function. If you observe here, none type object is not iterable. What is that? What is that, and why it is giving the error? Okay, why it is giving that error? What error actually? Outer function started, outer function calling inner function execution. Okay, inner function execution. Any mistake I'm doing? Let me write something here. Type error, none type is object is not callable. Okay, none type object is not callable. Observe here, returning, I'm what returning? Inner function. Okay, I'm returning what? Inner function. Still here it is giving that error as a none function. What is happening here? Outer function I'm calling, first I'm calling outer function. Outer function started. Okay, outer function started. Next inner function execution. Return inner function. Okay, because of this one. Okay, because of this one. Now observe here. So returning function means it should return only the function, not with the parenthesis. So now observe the output. Inner function execution, and followed by outer function. Like this, we are observing. Okay, like this we are getting. Like this we are getting. Clear? Example 2. Example 2. This is outer function started and outer function calling inner function. Outer function calling inner function. Clear? So this is nothing but what nested functions. Okay, this is nothing but what nested function. So in the next session, I'm going to start about modules concept. Okay, in the next session, I'm going to start about nested functions. Friends, please subscribe to my channel if you are watching my channel for the first time. It gives me more encouragement. So I'm going to create more videos on technical with respect to logicals and everything. So please subscribe to my channel and share it to your friends who are learning new technology. Okay, don't worry about technology and programming. Programming is not a rocket science. Just first try to learn each and every point, then you will write the code automatically. So that's not a problem. Okay, please subscribe to my channel if you are watching my channel for the first time. Thank you friends, thanks for watching.